In this, let's bring in Professor Sean Connolly, who's from the team of scientists behind the study from James Cook University. Sean, thank you so much for joining us. We knew the Great Barrier Reef was being damaged, but now it appears that the damage is irreversible.
Well, we've seen some quite dramatic change. Both the 30% of loss of coral across the Great Barrier Reef, that goes to close to 50% when you look at the northern half of the Great Barrier Reef. And not all species are equally susceptible to this coral bleaching. So some species would have extremely high mortality. And in some cases, we saw corals that are normally very robust that might live to 100, 150 years bleaching and dying. And so it's very unlikely, given the trajectory of climate change, that we'll see those kinds of corals coming back.
So this is all the results, I believe, of a 2016 heat wave. Can you tell us how sensitive is this ecosystem to changes in temperature, even small changes?
Well, corals tend to live very close to what we call their thermal maximum, the hottest temperatures they can stand. So once the temperature gets to be about 1 degree above the typical summer maximum for that location, corals will start to accumulate heat stress. And if that heat wave continues for several weeks, or if it's particularly severe, then there's a breakdown in the relationship between the coral animal, which is what you look at when you go snorkeling, and the tiny plants that live inside them that provide them with their energy. So that relationship breaks down. Corals lose their source of energy, and they're not able to restore it until temperatures return to less stressful levels.
And just quickly, I mean, I know most people are familiar with the Great Barrier Reef, at least the name, but for those who may not be, can you just explain why this part of the world is so precious?
Well, coral reefs harbor a very disproportionate share of species in the marine environment, and coral reef ecosystems in general, not just the Great Barrier Reef, are the principal source of protein and a major source of livelihoods for people living in tropical countries around the world. Those include some of the poorest countries in the world, countries that are not well equipped, don't have the diverse economies that will allow them to cope with a collapse in the functioning of these ecosystems.
Far-reaching impacts that perhaps we haven't all considered. Thank you so much for that. That's Professor Sean Connolly, live from Townsville.